What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're a full Finneon Evolution team. Boy, oh boy, this was one hard team. So we got Finneon and Lumineon with only a team of 2. So what I'm going to be doing is using the shiny versions and the normal versions to make up a team of 4. We've got Swift Swim, Storm Drain, and Water Veil as the abilities on this team. I thought I'd add the extra abilities on the start screen there so you know what the evolution lines have. If you want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my streams, all that sort of stuff, sweeps, theme teams, you name it, that's in the description of the video. Let's get into the very first battle. We've got 3 battles today with this team. This is a battle against Napalm, and we have a Dustox lead. Now, this was a 4 versus 3 battle, so I was looking at the team preview, and there was one Pokemon that was quite scary, so more on that a little bit later. So we got a Dustox lead here. I've got a Finneon as my lead, and as a Choice Banded set. So I've got U-Turn, Aquatail, Payback, and Facade. So I decided to go for the Aquatail against the Dustox. It does really good damage. It's a 2-hit KO. However, the Dustox is going to be eating a Citrus Berry and recovering that off. So I'm going to need to land like another 2 to take it out. However, we got the Dustox going for a Quiver Dance here. And yeah, this is going to be very scary. So it's going to have a boost in speed. And most importantly, it's going to have a boost in its special attack, so it's going to be hitting a lot harder than it was, what it was before, right? So now we got the Dustox going for a Sludge Bomb here. Sludge Bomb does heaps. It's going to be a 2-hit KO, plus I got Poison as well. The Finneon's EVs are Max Health and Max Attack. I've got the ability Swift Swim and the item Choice Band, and obviously you got to see what the other moves there were as well. Now, at this stage, I know that I'm definitely probably going to fade to a Sludge Bomb, but I don't really want to swap into my others too, right? So, bye-bye, Finneon. You did a pretty good job there. Now, nothing I could have done there, right? It would have been bad if I missed with Aquatail the first turn. That would have been horrendous. So, next Pokemon, it's Finneon number 2. Now, this is a bulky set. I've got on this one Confuse Ray, Aqua Ring, Whirlpool, and Attract. What I wanted to do is just get a Whirlpool up and finish this Dustox off. And then Dustox went for the Moonlight. I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know whether I can actually... Seriously, I was like, man, I don't know if I can take this out with any of my Pokemon at all. Like, if it has the ability to heal itself off fast and hit me really hard at the same time. So, fortunately for me there, the Whirlpool is going to land. And I've got some extra damage at the end of the turn, but nothing like super powerful. So, I've got the option to go for Attract here since the Dustox is now locked in by Whirlpool for a few turns. Now, it's going to go for the Sludge Bomb. I'm a little bit bulkier on this set. I've got Max Health and I've got Sassy Nature. So I've got that little bit of extra boost in special. The other EVs are Max Defense. So Max Health, Max Defense, Sassy Nature. I've got the ability Storm Drain. Storm Drain was one of the most useless abilities on this team because normally you wouldn't use a water type move on a water type Pokemon. But I only put it on one of them. The item is leftovers as well, as you can see, and that sort of stacks with the Aqua Ring, like, over time. So what I wanted to do is to try and get everything going. So the Whirlpool going, the Attract going, the Confuse Ray going, really try and shut the Dustox down so it couldn't do anything, just slowly take it out, if possible, The chance of me, taking the Dustox out, were kind of slim unless I didn't get all of them going. Even then, you can still get lucky moments where the opponent can, get through and just absolutely destroy. So we got some chickens floating around the Dustox here, and we got the Infatuation popping up afterwards, and unfortunately got through that too. So one more Sludge Bomb hits me very hard, no poison, thank goodness, and now I'm going to be able to get the Aqua Ring up. Now, the thing about this is I've got leftovers, and now I've got Aqua Ring, but I will not be able to live another Sludge Bomb. I'm going to need probably another round of recovery from both of them to be able to live the next hit. Plus, I may even get poisoned too. You always got to take that into effect. So we got some more Whirlpool here. The thing about this is I need to land one more Whirlpool to take it out. So I went for the Whirlpool, and I was crossing my fins here, people. You know what I'm saying? So Dustox has got the confusion, gets through that right away, and it gets infatuated. I'm like, yes, this is perfect. Now the Whirlpool is going to land on Dustox. It does a little bit of damage, which is good. But there was one really bad thing that happened here. Remember how earlier on I set that Whirlpool up? Yeah, Dustox got free from it. So now it either could swap, which I doubt it'll swap, but now I'm not going to get the damage and take it out at the end of the turn. Like, I would have had half my health back. So regardless, I've got to go for a Whirlpool again because it's not active and I might still miss. It snaps out of Confusion. Like, I didn't even get one Confusion against that. Gets through the Infatuation and hits me with a Sludge Bomb. It's a very good thing that I had that, one extra turn with Acroing and Leptos. Otherwise, I would have got destroyed. So that's the end of Dustox. Amazing performance there from Finneon to be able to like actually get through that. That was crazy. So that's the Dustox down. There's still 2 more Pokemon to go. But that was the Pokemon I thought I had like less problems with, but it was like heaps and heaps of problems. Next Pokemon, it's another Golduck. I'm like, wait, so it's the first Golduck. Out of all the reason I say it's another Golduck, when I did all the battles with this Lumineon team, right, or Finneon team, like nearly everyone had a Golduck, which made it very difficult because I can't use my main stab against Golduck. Well, I can, but it's just going to do like hardly any damage. Now, next Pokemon is going to be Lumineon. Both my Finneons are now gone, and this is a special attacking Golduck. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to take this out fast because if this has any sort of like decent like special attack stat, it's going to hurt. So I've got this interesting Lumineon bounce set. So I've got Waterfall, Bounce, Endure, and Flail. I've got the EV spreaders, max attack and max speed, adamant nature. I've got the ability Water Veil, so I won't get burned by like Will-O-Wisp or something like that, which is very important on a physical set. And I've got the item Lychee Berry. So what I wanted to do is get hit by a decently hard attack, and then let's say I know that I'm going to faint. Then I go for Endure and get the full power boost on Flail and get a Lychee Berry at the same time. Here comes Psyduck from Golduck. Psychic from Golduck. Man, I did it again. And that did pretty good damage. It's a 2-hit KO. So now I can go for Endure. And what that's going to allow me to is live on 1 health, merch available. And then I can get the Lychee Berry at +1, and then go for a fully powered up Flail. So that's my Lumineon now on 1 hit. I endured the hit. The good thing is I'm outspeeding as well. If I wasn't outspeeding the Golduck, I probably would have been a little bit more aggressive with my attacks and not gone for Endure. So it's time to go for Flail at full base power with a +1 with Adamant Nature, and that is going to sink the Golduck. Thank goodness. That was a very, very difficult Pokemon to get past. All right, the last Pokemon here is going to be Abomasnow. And as soon as I seen this in the team preview, I'm like, man, this is going to be difficult because, grass-type moves, Plus the hail, too, can get rid of my rain. And since I'm on 1 health here, I'm going to faint to hail. So they may be going for a status move here, knowing that I'm going to faint to hail. So we got the Flail going really, really hard, not taking the Abomasnow out. Abomasnow is going to go for a sub-treat, and it's going to fail because I just did a little bit too much damage there. But imagine if that Abomasnow got that free sub up and just lived. That would have been extremely bad. Last Pokemon is Lumineon here, or Lumineon number 2. This is my special set. So we got Surf, which I'm not going to go for because I'm not going to miss that KO. I've got Ice Beam, and I've also got Hive Beam here too. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to fire a laser at this Abomasnow. And that, my friends, is the end of the battle. But that Dustox was the toughest Pokemon on the team. I thought that, Abomasnow was going to be the most difficult. But since I, outsped Abomasnow and I was able to hit it with a really powerful Flail, it pretty much got rid of the threat very, very quickly. And, let's get on to the second battle. A nice battle there. Very interesting team. That was also a theme team too. So let me know if you can guess what that first theme team was. Okay, this is battle number 2 with the Finneon Lumineon team. I've got a battle against Ugia, and we've got a Ursaring lead. So this might, I'm just having a look. This is also a 4v4, by the way. This might be a theme team too. So if you see something, you see a theme team, let me know. Also, people, if you enjoyed the battles, please drop a like on the video, and big shout out to everyone that's been doing that. You're the MVPs. So we got a Toxicorp Ursaring here. I thought I might try and lead with Finneon. In most of the battles, I actually led with this Finneon because I had, reasonable success. So we've got a Scratch Guts Ursaring there. Only up in my shadow. And, I take it pretty nicely. They actually might be Quick Feet, to be honest. I think this might be Quick Feet because Guts should have done a little bit better damage than that, I think. And also, if it was a Flame Orb, that would definitely be Guts. But, if it was a Flame Orb and Quick Feet, it'd be powering down those moves. So I definitely think this is a Quick Feet set. So I've got Whirlpool to use as an option to trap in the Ursaring. That would be good with Toxic. Unfortunately, Ursaring's going to swap out, so that's sort of going to mess up my plans here of trapping that in. Next Pokemon is going to be Miss Magius, and Whirlpool, of course, is going to miss. It's always helpful in Whirlpool business, So some more Leftovers recovery on my Finneon. I have no idea what this Miss Magius is ever going to be. So I need to get the Whirlpool going, the Acroing, and I can't do the Attract, but I can go for Confuse Ray. So I might be able to get a little bit of damage, right? And we see them using a physical Miss Magius. Now, I know what EV spread I gave this Finneon. It was max health and max defense. So There's no way that Miss Magus is going to be able to take me out with that. It's going to need like loads and loads of like 3 or 4 probably, because I know physical Miss Magus and it is absolutely garbage, and which is why I guess people like to try it out and stuff like that for the fun. So Miss Magus doesn't do a lot of Phantom Force there, and now Whirlpool is going to trap it in. So like, okay, that's really, really good. Will it be able to take me out? It eventually might be able to take me out, but I feel like I can do a lot of damage to it with Whirlpool. But then I seen the leftovers, like, oh, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to take this out, because let's say I stay into this Miss Magus. It's going to be like a 10-minute matchup. The Whirlpool animations, the leftovers, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to swap out there because I don't want to spend like, 3/4 of the match stalling, right? I want to see if I can take this Miss Magus out a little bit quicker. So going into my Choice Banded Finneon here, now that Miss Magus reveals that it's a mix set, it's not only physical, and that does a lot of damage to my Finneon and drops its special defense. I would have loved to hit that with a Choice Band of Payback with Adamant Nature. Like, that would have dropped it. It easily would have dropped it. So here comes another Shadow Ball. I don't want to swap into any other Pokemon, and unfortunately, Finneon is just going to have to take the hit there, which sucks. So it is what it is, people. That's one of my Pokemon fainted. Now, I don't want to bring back in my Finneon from earlier on. I already know that I can't take it out, in a reasonable amount of time. So let's go into my special attacking set. This one has got Ice Beam, Surf, Rain Dance, and Hyper Beam. So I thought, well, let's just go and attack it. So Miss Magus' other move is going to be Will-O-Wisp. So it's got Will-O-Wisp, it's got a Phantom Force, and Shadow Ball. So, an interesting set. I thought it might have something like Hex with Will-O-Wisp. But anyway, it is what it is right now. This set is a Swift Swim set. I've got the item as Damp Rock, and I've got Max Health and Max Special Attack. Now, the reason why I've got max health for is because once the Swift Swim activates, my speed is going to double, and then I'll be able to outspeed pretty much everything. So it's a little bit of a waste putting those extra speed EVs in there. And it's not like Reggie Lecky's floating around in the game, you know what I mean? Now, so the next Pokemon is going to be Metagross. I actually don't know what sort of team this is. Like, I know what some of the nicknames mean, but... another thing, people, is don't use Surf on your motherboard, all right? It won't be a very working motherboard after that. So go for a second Surf on the Metagross here. I have to take this out. It's such a threatening Pokemon, and that's going to be the end of it. So that was nice, getting 2 Surfs off against that. Who knows what sort of set that would have been. So some more burn damage on my Lumineon. It's kind of small, so it doesn't really matter that much. And we've got the last Pokemon as a Golduck. Remember I was talking about lots of Golducks? Yeah. So Golduck is going to be an interesting Pokemon to get around. So I'm going to go into my Lumineon. This is the physical set. And this one has got the Water Veil as the ability, so it can't be burned. So Golduck's going to go for Waterfall here. It still does a lot of damage. It's like a 3-hit KO. I'm thinking to myself, well, do I go for Bounce to try and get it paralyzed? Do I go for Endure? Golduck is outspeeding me because it's got Swift Swim as well, right? As its ability. Hydro Pump hits me really hard too, but around the same as what the Waterfall would be. So we're going to go for Bounce here, hoping I can get like a Paralyze. That'll be amazing. However, they're going to swap out that Golduck and they're going to go back into the Earth Ring. So they don't want me to Paralyze the Golduck. They're probably worried about its speed. Now, I already seen this Earth Ring already, so it's got Protect, and I know that it's got Scratch. It's a meme set, right? So it's a Scratch set. So I was wondering what other moves that it had, or, maybe Scratch was its only attacking move. I'd say it'd have something to hit Ghost type, but, maybe it didn't. So swapping into Finneon here, it's got Scratch as the main move there, and I know that I can leave another 3 Scratches. I mean, it's probably the only channel you ever got to hear that on, right? Only your Peter's channel. So we got some more Scratches coming my way, possibly, but there's some more toxic damage coming the Ursa Rings way. Now it pulls out a Shadow Claw. So I'm like, so that's how it hits Ghost type. I mean, to be fair, Shadow Claw only did about as much as Scratch did. Like, let's be real about it. So Finneon's going to take some more leftovers recovery there, which is very, very good. I might be able to leave 1 more Shadow Claw and 1 more Scratch. Really, really close run. Now Ursaring's going to go for a Metal Claw, so that's what the moveset was. It was Scratch, Metal Claw, and Shadow Claw. Oh, I get it. So it was like all claw, like almost like claw, like scratching moves. Very, very interesting right there. So Finneon would have, or the Ursaring would have fainted this turn regardless whether it went for Scratch or Shadow Claw. And my Finneon is probably just going to get one-shotted by the Golduck or the Miss Magus coming in there. So it's going to be the Golduck. So I know that I'm probably going to faint the Waterfall. However, it's going to go for a Brick Break. So Brick Break's going to take Finneon out. Didn't really matter anyway. Finneon was always going to faint in one of those matchups. Next Pokemon is going to be my physical Lumineon. So like, okay, there's no rain around the moment. Golduck won't be as fast as it was. let's see if I can get this Endure and Flail strategy going. Unfortunately, this time, compared to the last battle, the Golduck isn't, you know, it hasn't taken any damage at all, so I'm going to have to do it really, really hard. So here comes the Aerial Ace, and wait, no, I went for Flail here because I didn't know whether I'd outspeed it. That's right. I was like, I remembered earlier, I was like, I don't know if I outspeed this one because I think it's max speed. So in the end, I went for I didn't go for Endure, I went for the Flail. I got the +1, but Flail wasn't enough to take it out even with that. So, you know, Golduck does have a little bit of, you know, bulk to it, you know what I mean? So it's going to go for a Disrespect Hydro Pump there, and that's the end of my Lumineon. Man, these Golducks are causing me so much trouble today, you know? So bye-bye Lumineon. Now, the next one I'm going to swap in here is going to be my special Lumineon. So I've got Surf, Ice Beam, and Rain Dance. I thought about going for Rain Dance for a bit, but I thought, well, if I go for Rain Dance, it's going to be good for Miss Maggots, because it's going to be bad for Golduck, because it's just going to use a Water-type move, and, you know, it's already going to outspeed me. And that Waterfall is going to do way more, so I have to go for Surf here. I don't want to go for Hyper Beam either, because say if I went for Hyper Beam now, right, and it didn't fake the Golduck. Let's say it even fainted the Golduck. I would have been on recharge against the Miss Maggots, you know, facing down, you know, a possible 2 Shadow Balls, you know, and I wasn't very confident I was going to be able to lift that. So Golduck's going to go for Brick Break, which surprisingly did less than Waterfall, and here comes another Surf, which is just enough to take out the Golduck. Man, I don't want to see any more Golducks against this team, seriously. Now, the last Pokemon is going to be the Magius from Erlon, which we know is a physical, it's a mix set. It's got Shadow Ball and Phantom Force, and it's got Will-O-Wisp. It's going to pop a Mystical Fire. That was its very, very last move. That fails to take me out. And this turn, I actually went for a Rain Dance in case I actually, you know, live one of these moves. So Rain Dance is going to be put up here. Unfortunately, I'm going to die to the next turn by Burn. And since Mystical Fire drops Special Attack 100% of the time, my Surf is going to be really, really weak. I'm going to need to get, like, a powerful critical hit here in the rain to be able to take this thing out. And it does very underwhelming damage. And that's it, my friends. The Miss Maggots is going to disappear and let me die to a Burn. I'd never do that to anyone, right? I'd never troll someone like that. Poor Lumineon. Let's get some Fs in the comment section. This was a hard team. Okay, bye-bye the second Lumineon, and thank you, UGA, for the battle and trolling me at their end. It felt so good. Let's get on to battle number 3 here. So this was a battle against Peeps a lot, and we got another 4 versus 3, me having the 4 Pokemon. This is also a theme team too, so I wonder if you could guess what this one is. So Magikarp is the first Pokemon here. I know that I've only got Slash and Flail and, you know, Hydro Pump to use, and they're going to go for Splash, so I'm thinking they want to be put on, like, a Focus Sash. So I went for the Payback here with the Choice Band, and that put it on 1 health, but it didn't have a Focus Sash. I was like, what? So it managed to get some big Flail damage there on my Finneon, and Finneon's going to finish it off with the Payback. I can't believe that. I was so lucky, like, you know, 1 health on the Payback without a Sash. Man, that's crazy. Like, you could almost run another item on there. So next Pokemon's going to be Azurill. Swapping out Finneon now because I'm locked into Payback. I'd like to be locked into a better move than that, so I thought Lumineon would be fine here. So going to my physical set, the Azurill is going to go for a Slam, a move you don't ever see, which is interesting. I'm going to go for a Waterfall here. I'm going to try and flinch it because I know it won't one-shot. It does a lot of damage there. It lands the Slam, which looks pretty funny, and look at the damage that did. That was brutal. So I think that was a huge power Choice Band to set. It also put me in range of the Lychee Berry too, which is great. Now I can fully go for a Flail here and take out Bouncy Bubble. So that's 2 Pokemon down and 2 more left. So the next Pokemon to come in is going to be the Spoink. So Spoink, I don't know what this set's going to be. Maybe it's got a Sash. Maybe it's a Troll set. I'm just going to go for Endure to watch what it's going to do. So it's going to go for a Psybeam. I was like, oh no, please don't confuse. It's going to put me on 1 health and no confusion. Like, that's great. Now I can go for the Flail, and that's going to be it for Bouncy Bacon. So bye-bye, Spoink. And now there's only 1 Pokemon left. And this was the Pokemon that really, really scared me the most. It was the Jumpluff. It's quite funny because I just did a Hoppip evolution team. I think I did it about a week ago. Yeah, a week ago. So it's going to take me out the Bullet Seed, and this is where my problems really start to begin. So swapping into a Lumineon now, I've got Ice Beam on this set. It's like, okay, all I have to do is live this Bullet Seed barrage and take it out. 1 Ice Beam will be enough to take it out, like easy peasy, right? So here comes our Bullet Seed. That was 3 Bullet Seeds. And here comes another one. I believe I might have been able to live 5 of them if I didn't get crit there. But boy, that was so lucky taking out that was my best Pokemon for that whole Pokemon, you know. None of my other ones I feel like can do much here. They're bulky, but they just don't do a lot of damage. So into the defensive Finneon, which is definitely taking the moves a little bit better. And on this stage, the Jumpluff only hits me twice instead of 5 times. Like, of course, that's the way Pokemon is sometimes. So my best bet here would be to get the Confuse Ray up. Since it's their last Pokemon, I don't need to go for Whirlpool as my first move to trap them in. I wanted to go for Confuse Ray more, right? Now, since this is a flying and grass type Pokemon, I'd say they've got some other attacking move, but I'd say they'll probably keep going for a Bullet Seed, right? And they went for Bounce. I'm like, okay, is Bounce going to be doing more than Bullet Seed? I mean, obviously it won't do more than, let's say, 4 to 5 Bullet Seeds, but it might do a lot more than, it definitely will do a lot more than 3, and it also has a chance of paralyzing too. So here comes the Bounce, and it does around as much as 2 to 3 Bullet Seeds. So I'm going to go for Whirlpool here, spinning that Jumpluff around, but it's still such a long way to be able to take this out. I wish I had something like, Toxic or something like that to, speed this process up. Now, unfortunately, Finneon is probably going to be dying this turn, or most definitely the next turn. And then after that, I only have one Finneon left, which is my, my Choice Bandit set. So here comes another round of Bullet Seed, and that's going to be about a 3-hit KO from here. I lived on 1 health, by the way, and it only hit me twice. I'm like, wow, that was lucky. So I got another round of Whirlpool damage up there. I didn't feel as much point going for Whirlpool, so I thought it'd be better to get the Aqua Ring up. Not that, I really expected to do much, yeah. So I've got my leftovers and I've got my Aqua Ring recovery on my Finneon, and now it's going to be fainting to the Bullet Seed next turn. I would have liked to get a track going, but I couldn't do that, so I couldn't actually do my entire strategy. Jumpluff is going to get through the Confusion. Once again, Confusion does nothing for me, and that's the end of my Finneon. So all I've got left now is my Choice Band Finneon from earlier on, and I thought, well, I can go for Payback here. That should do a lot of damage, and Jumpluff's, I wouldn't call Jumpluff super bulky on the defensive side. So here comes the Bullet Seed, and unfortunately, Bullet Seed just does a little bit too much, and that's the end of my Finneon. I tried my hardest. People are very, very difficult team to use, but some really cool battles. I'll be back tomorrow with I think a Pokemon sweep. Friday's a Pokemon sweep there. Yeah, it will be. All right, people. Catch you next time. Peace out.